Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra Jai Gaur Nitai Gaura Nitai Jai Gaura Nitai Jai Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Srila Prabhupada Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Shomilitam Jaina Tajmana Shri Morve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sapitam Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakam Lam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutanam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakambitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavanishware Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from Sri Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge, text 18. So if everybody can get to text 18, and you could repeat after me. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Shakshi
Prabhu Shakshi,
Nivasha Sharanam Sudit.
Nivasa Sharanam Surat,
Can you Prabhava Pralayasthanam
Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam,
Idanam Bijam Avyayam
Nidhanam Bijam Avyayam,
Gartir Bharata Prabhu Shakshi
Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi,
Nivasha Sharanam Surit
Nivasa Sharanam Surat,
Prabhava Pralayasthanam
Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam,
Nidanam Bijam Avyayam
Nidhanam Bijam Avyayam,
Gatir Bharta Prabhu Shakshi
Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi,
Nivasha Sharanam Surit
Nivasa Sharanam Surat,
Prabhava Pralayasthanam
Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam,
Nidanam Bijam Avyayam
Nidhanam Bijam Avyayam,
Gatir
Gatir
Bharta
Bharta
Prabhu
Prabhu
Shakshi
Sakshi,
Nivasha
Nivasa
Sharanam
Sharanam
Surit
Surat,
Prabhava
Pralaya Sthanam,
Pralayasthanam Nidanam Bijam
Bijam
Avyayam
Avyayam,
Gatir
Gatir
Bharta
Bharta
Prabhu
Prabhu
Shakshi
Sakshi,
Nivasha
Nivasa
Sharanam
Sharanam
Surat
Surat,
Prabhava
Prabhava Pralaya
Pralayasthanam
Sthanam,
Nidanam
Nidhanam
Bijam
Bijam
Avyayam.
Avyayam,
Somebody from there chanting?
Gatir Varta Prabhu Shakshi
Gatir
Gatir
Bharta
Bharta
Prabhu
Prabhu
Sakshi,
Shakshi
Nivasha Sharanam Shuhid
Nivasha
Nivasa
Sharanam
Sharanam
Surit
Surat,
Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam
Prabhava
Prabhava
Pralaya Sthanam,
Pralayasthanam
Nidhanam Bijam Abhayam
Nidanam
Nidhanam
Bijam Avyayam
Bijamavyayam, Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi,
Gatir
Gatir
Bharta
Varta
Prabhu
Prabhu
Sakshi
Shakshi
Nivasa Sharanam Surat.
Nivasha Sharanam Surit.
Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam.
Prabhava Pralayastanam.
Nidhanam Bijam Avyayam.
Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. Anyone else? Gati, goal.
Goal.
Bharata, sustainer.
Sustainer.
Prabhu,
Prabhu.
Lord.
Lord.
Sakshi,
Sakshi.
witness.
Witness.
Nivasha,
Nivasaha.
abode.
Abode.
Sharanam,
Sharanam.
refuge.
Refuge.
Surit,
Surat.
most intimate friend.
Most intimate friend.
Prabhava,
Prabhava.
creation.
Creation.
Pralaya,
Pralaya.
dissolution.
Dissolution.
Sthanam,
Dhanam.
ground.
Ground.
Nidanam,
Nidhanam.
resting place.
Resting place.
Bijam,
Bijam.
seed.
Seed.
Avyayam,
Avyayam.
imperishable.
Imperishable.
Translation: I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place and the eternal seed. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Gati means the destination where we want to go, but the ultimate goal is Krishna, although people do not know it. One who does not know Krishna is misled, and his so-called progressive march either partial is either partial or hallucinatory. There are many who make as their destination different demigods, and by rigid performance of the strict respective methods, they reach different planets known as Chandraloka, Suryaloka, Indraloka, Maharloka, etc. But all such lokas or planets, being creations of Krishna, are simultaneously Krishna and not Krishna. Such planets being manifestations of Krishna's energy are also Krishna, but actually they serve only as a step forward for realization of Krishna. To approach the different energies of Krishna is to approach Krishna indirectly. One should directly approach Krishna, for that will save time and energy. For example, if there is a possibility of going to the top of a building by the help of an elevator, why should one go by the staircase, step by step? Everything is resting on Krishna's energy. Therefore, without Krishna's shelter, nothing can exist. Krishna is the supreme ruler because everything belongs to him, and everything exists on his energy. Krishna, being situated in everyone's heart, is the supreme witness. The residents, countries, or planets on which we live are also Krishna. Krishna is the ultimate goal of shelter. Is the ultimate goal of shelter. And therefore, one should take shelter of Krishna either for protection or for annihilation of his distress. And whenever we have to take protection, we should know that our protection must be a living force. Krishna is the supreme living entity. And since Krishna is the source of our generation, or the Supreme Father, no one can be a better friend than Krishna, nor can anyone be a better well-wisher. Krishna is the original source of creation and the ultimate rest after annihilation. Krishna is therefore the eternal cause of all causes. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharani Nivasesa Sunyavadi Pashchachade Satarani. So this verse again, the English. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place of the eternal seed. So here, Krishna is telling Arjuna and telling the world for generations to come his position. So he is the supreme Lord. No one else is equal or superior to him. So here, I'm going to kind of go over the purport a little. Gati means a destination where we want to go. So everyone wants to go to Krishna, but they don't know it. No, that doesn't make much sense. I want to go to Krishna, but I don't know it. They want to go where there's happiness, where there's refuge, where there's safety, where there's happiness. The material world has chapala sukha, flickering happiness. You get some happiness. A boy meets a girl, they're very, very happy, and they're happy for some time, and then that happiness is just not the same anymore. It doesn't last, it dwindles, and sometimes they can't stand each other. And then there's divorce. So this is the material world. It's not real happiness. The happiness you get from Krishna is wonderful. And then after some time, it gets better, and it gets better, and it never, ever, ever gets less. It's just eternally ever-increasing happiness. Now, who doesn't want that? Only a fool would say that they don't want that. So that's what they're looking for, and that's only to be had from Krishna. It's just ever-increasing transcendental bliss. So everyone does want that. You know, just like some people commit suicide because they're so unhappy and they think that I'd rather be dead. And they think death is the end. Of course, death is not the end. Committing suicide is a terrible thing. Then you wind up becoming a ghost for some time, not having a body because you didn't want a body. And Krishna fulfilled your desire. But the point is, people who don't want to live, it's not that they don't want to live. They don't want to live so unhappy. And the way to become happy is by Krishna. There's no other real way of becoming happy. Everything else is just flickering. It's there and it's gone. And unfortunately, we're all in illusion to different degrees, and we're still searching for that happiness here in this material world. Of course, as devotees, we're also, getting some happiness from Krishna and doing something for Krishna, but we're not fully surrendered. If we realize this, there would be no interest whatsoever in this material world, and our only interest would be in Krishna. So we have to try to become more interested in Krishna. One who does not know Krishna is misled. We're all misled. We're all following fools. We're seeing somebody, he has a lot of money, we're thinking he's happy, and we follow, that path, thinking that will satisfy me. There's even a song, was it by... Yeah, I can't get no satisfaction, but about love. I guess money can't buy me love, right? Yeah, so you can't buy love. You want someone to love you. You want to love someone, you want them to love you. That's Krishna. Krishna is never, in the material world, it's always, I'll satisfy your senses if you satisfy mine. But with Krishna, it's not a question of satisfying him, you satisfy his and he'll satisfy yours. It's no arrangement. All you want to do is satisfy his. And when you satisfy his, you're so satisfied. And then he wants to reciprocate. And he's God, so he can certainly do that. So the people, the only reason they're looking for anything else is they're misled. There's false propaganda, false advertisements. You know, what was the one about Coca-Cola? Where enjoy Coca-Cola. And probably you can't enjoy Coca-Cola. You know, that's not real enjoyment. You know, it's just some temporary satisfaction of the tongue. It's not really enjoying. Enjoying is only only spiritual is real enjoyment. So you can't enjoy. There's so much false advertisement. There's so much misleading people, and people become misled, thinking by satisfying my sense. I mean, if you look at, because I don't have a TV. Well, I got a TV, but I don't know if it doesn't work because you have to have cable or something before you could see anything now. But I remember advertisements. They all give this false thing. If I got this, then I'll be happy. It's just so, and then people get misled thinking that will make me happy. And if you get it, you might be happy for a little bit, but it's nothing. I remember devotee Janardhan. He was a wrestler in high school, and he was really into wrestling. He was really good, and he wanted so much to win this trophy, this big trophy for like big competition. And he worked really, really hard, and then he won the trophy, and he put it on his mantle. He put it in his house somewhere on his mantle, and he looked at it and he thought, it doesn't do anything for me. You know, he did all this work thinking, if I get this, then I'm going to be happy and satisfied. And right after he got it, pretty much, I mean, the way I understood it was like the same night he put it on his mantle. They realized, it's just a piece of, you know, just like a little statue. Doesn't satisfy me. And he was thinking the whole time, if I get this, then I'll be happy. And he got it, and he wasn't happy. So then he became a devotee, and now he's happy. So, but anyway, people are misled, thinking so many things will make them happy. One who does not know Krishna is misled, and his so-called progressive march is either partial or hallucinatory. So his progressive march, he may get partly there. He may actually make some progress, because Prabhupada explains further, he maybe worships demigods to go to a higher planet. So he gets partially, he gets a little bit closer, because he's at least doing the proper things by, you know, not just trying to enjoy his gross senses, but performing some austerities so that he can make some progress towards something better. But it's just material, it's just partial. And if you don't go any further, it's a complete waste of time. But you might go further from there or hallucinatory, just a hallucination, just a phantasmagoria. We're thinking we can be happy with this and with that, and it's just a whole waste of time because there's no real happiness from any of it. It's just an illusion. We're all in illusion to different degrees, and that's just another illusion, just presenting this will make you happy. If I have this, and there's so many people you can, and yourself, if you're honest, you could think, if I had this, if I had that. I mean, I could think of so many things. You know, if I have this, people think, if I have a good wife, if I have a good husband, if I have good children, if I have good grandchildren, if I have, it just never ends. It never ends. I remember Maya, before actually moving into the temple. Now, I was thinking I'm in Maya because I'm living at home. I'm not living in the temple. All the devotees live in the temple. And at that time they did. So I had to move into the temple. But I noticed no matter what, Maya always gave me another reason. I have to just wait a little longer till I finish this, And finally I decided it's never going to end. I'm just going to go, forget it. And I just went to Boston to get away from New York and moved into the temple. But Maya will never say, now it's okay, you'd served me nicely, now you can go and serve Krishna. That's not what she does, that's not her job. She's always going to give you reasons why not to surrender to Krishna. And they may seem very important, very good reasons, but they're just tricks of Maya. So, there are many who make as their destination different demigods, and by rigid performance of the strict respective methods, they reach different planets known as Chandraloka, Suryaloka, Indraloka, Maharaloka, etc. So, very strict, very difficult, but you can do it. And it's getting closer, it's getting a little higher, your mind can understand so much more, just like we have our Bhagavatam set, which is so many volumes. That's only for this planet. There's Bhagavatams on the higher planets that are so much more, way more volumes. They probably read faster too, and they comprehend and remember. So, but there's so much more that we can learn, and you can make more progress. But of course, you're in Indraloka, you can also enjoy sense gratification way better than you can here. This is very Dullsville. It's just really dull. And it's like, over there, it's Sharpsville, and sharp sense gratification, really Keensville. These are some of the towns on Indraloka. but you can enjoy way better than here, so you can become more in illusion also, at least on some of these planets. I don't know about Maharaloka. That seems to be very spiritual, isn't it? Didn't we read about it? Well, who's read, what is that, we heard Bhagavatamrita? Thinking there. Anyway, but all such lokas, or planets, being creations of Krishna, are simultaneously Krishna and not Krishna. So now Prabhupada's getting into another point, that everything is Krishna. It's either Krishna personally, directly, or Krishna's energy. But for the devotee who sees Krishna's energy as related to Krishna, it's Krishna's energy. That's also Krishna consciousness. You see Krishna everywhere because you see it's all his energy. Nothing can happen unless Krishna is allowing it. So the external energy that we see here is also Krishna's energy. So it's non-different from Krishna, but simultaneously, Chintya Beta Beta Tattva, it's simultaneously one and different, inconceivably simultaneously one and different. So it's the same because it's his energy, it's connected to him, but it's different because you don't get the same results by worshiping this microphone. Look what it does. It just you try to worship and it just falls right down. Doesn't reciprocate at all. I was just trying to be nice. And that's what happens. You serve Maya nicely and you get kicked. You don't get any nice reciprocation. I did everything you said. There's a play. It was a big fish, little fish. But you can see it. Gohari does it. I remember when I first moved in the temple, they told me, we're going to do a play today. Gohari told me, we're going to do a play today, and you're going to be a butcher. Your lines are, oh man, I forgot my line. He gave me one line, and then I just ad-libbed the rest. And he said, get something to look like a butcher. So I got a what do you call it? An apron. I put red paint all over it, and I got an axe, and I was a butcher. Yeah, butchers. Yeah, eating's the game. Oh man, I don't remember. It was a very long time ago, in 1971. So. But I do remember playing the part, and they had all different people. Basically, they had a guy, a big fish, who was Krishna, and the little fish was the jivas, and he's following Krishna, and then Maya said, why are you just following him? Why don't you enjoy it? Why don't you just do, yeah, I can do that. So he tries to enjoy, and every time he tries to enjoy, he gets kicked by Maya, gets smashed by Maya. And it was a fun play, and it was mainly done for hippie people who were there, and they seemed to enjoy it. I remember one scene which is really nice for those who have any experience like this. They take these guys. They take some drugs because he's telling them, you take drugs, then you feel better. They take drugs, and he's feeling good, and he says, and they're walking through the alley, and then they see the light. There's a light. It's a bright light, and it's coming closer. And then it's the pigs. Pigs, they called cops pigs at that time. And they said that in the play. It was like a cop car coming down the alley and starts beating them up. Anyway, but it was for the time, place, and circumstance.
So that's a different version than the recorded one.
Well, the recorded one, they left that out, yeah. We did. There's a lot of things you can put in there. But basically, he starts out being happy, it's really nice, and then it's suffering like anything. Why am I suffering? And his wife just makes him work and work and work and smacks him, and his wife was his wife in Gauri. His wife was Prufamukhi. Yeah. They did it really well. That was recorded. We didn't have it recorded. But yeah, I'm sure it's online. Big Fish, Little Fish, you guys want to watch it. It took place, I think, at Gita Nagari. That's where they did it. Gauri, Pushpavan. Here's Maya. He's dressed in a sari. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm getting a little off, but it's a real good example of how you can't enjoy, how it appears so wonderful, and then all you do is get beaten by Maya. So that's what happens in this material world. And here we're going back to everything is ultimately Krishna. So, but actually, they serve only as a step forward for realization of Krishna. These are those who follow the demigods. They just go a little bit closer. And then Prabhupada, I don't know if he says it right here, but he does say it in the purport, where you want to go up to the top of the Empire State Building, you can take the elevator, but it's actually, I think you take 3 elevators, if I remember correctly. I've been there a very long time ago. Or you can walk the stairs. Why would you walk the stairs? Other than, okay, it's good exercise. Other than it's like, well, I walked up to the top of the Empire State Building. You're an idiot. Why did you walk up? You wasted hours of time and killed yourself. You could just take and the elevator was fun. It goes so fast. It was like, woo! That's what I remember. I was young, but I remember it was pretty nice. I remember then you'll go up on top and you look in these things and you pay 10 cents and who knows what it costs now. With Biden, it's probably $100 with the inflation. But anyway, why would you walk up if you can take an elevator? Like if you're going to touch your nose, the goal is to touch your nose. You touch your nose. Or, I can't do it, but you can move your hand all around. I don't even know how to do that. Where do they do it? Like that. Yeah, I could do it, see? You didn't think I could do it. I didn't think I could do it. But, the goal is to touch your nose. You just touch your nose. It's like you don't get anything extra by doing it the hard way. So if your goal is to get to Krishna, just directly go to Krishna. You don't have to go to all these different demigods and try to make progress gradually, walking step by step. Such planets, being manifestations of Krishna's energy, are also Krishna. But actually, They serve only as a step forward for realization of Krishna. To approach the different energies of Krishna is to approach Krishna indirectly. One should directly approach Krishna, for that will save time and energy. For example, this is the example, if there is a possibility of going to the top of a building by the help of an elevator, why should you go by the staircase, step by step? Everything is resting on Krishna's energy. Therefore, without Krishna's shelter, nothing can exist. So even all this is Krishna's energy, this material external energy. And it's all resting. Everything is resting on this, and it's all on Krishna's energy. So Krishna is the source of all of this energy. We should go directly to Krishna. Everything is resting on Krishna's energy, and therefore he's the shelter of everything. Nothing can exist without resting on Krishna. So Krishna is the supreme ruler because everything belongs to him and everything exists on his energy. So Krishna Prabhupada's pointing out here how Krishna, everything is Krishna. It's either Krishna's energy. You can go to Krishna slowly or you can go to Krishna quickly. Why would you want to go slowly? Why would you want to walk up the steps? And it's the only way you can be happy is by surrendering to Krishna. So Krishna being situated in everyone's heart is the supreme witness. He's also the witness, and he's also our best friend. Even in that sense, he's our best friend. He's in our heart. Who else goes with us everywhere? And is always trying to help us, give us good advice. I once thought about, we probably don't have any Catholics on the line of former Catholics, but in the Catholics, I'm not even sure what they believe. I was a Catholic, but I remember that you have a guardian angel, an angel who comes with you, and he's always trying to help you, and he's giving you advice. And I thought about this as a devotee, and why would God give an angel, somebody that's spiritually advanced, that service? That's such a horrible service. I keep telling you, don't do that, and then you do it. Don't do that, you do it. It's like, what the heck is the use? I'm so frustrated. Why should I tell you anymore? You just keep doing it anyway. So it's Super Soul, Krishna. He's patient. They say the patience of God. He's the only one patient enough to actually keep giving you good instructions, keep trying to help you eternally. That's your best friend. So it's Super Soul is actually doing this. It's not like nobody is doing it, but it's not an individual, an angel. It's like, one angel. Then, okay, you get one angel, and he gives somebody instructions, and the person follows it. And he gives them another instruction, the person follows it. That angel is like, man, he becomes envied by all the other angels. This guy listens to you. Why can't my guy listen to me? He doesn't listen to nothing I say. So it just seems to not be something that God would give someone who is making spiritual progress and doing really well a service, a useless service or a thankless service. So, but Super Soul, he is our best friend. He is there. He's with us all the time, and he's always trying to help us, to give us good advice. And we don't listen to anything he says because we're so dull. We listen to some things he says, but in general, we're not listening. We're not hearing him because we're not pure. I remember once someone asked Srila Prabhupada that when you leave, how will we know what to do? Will we listen to Super Soul in our heart? And Prabhupada says, if you're pure. So that answer was no. So we have his books. We have to read his books, and then we'll know what to do. So Krishna being situated in everyone's heart is the supreme witness. the residents, the residents, countries, or planets on which we live are also Krishna. It's also Krishna's energy. So it's Krishna. Krishna is the ultimate goal of shelter. The ultimate goal of shelter, that's really nice. It doesn't sound so good. He's the ultimate goal of shelter. What does it mean? What it means is there's so many shelters we have. We take shelter of our family. We take shelter of our friends. We take shelter of the temple. Well, the temple is, you could say, is Krishna, because it's Krishna. We take shelter of, of our home. We take shelter of our country. But Krishna is the ultimate goal of shelter. He's the only real shelter. All these other things, we have, for a long time, the U.S., not that long compared to time, but for a few hundred years or so, maybe, I don't know how many hundreds, or at least 100, like the U.S. has been considered the most powerful, the greatest country in the world. I mean, we're talking about the world, which is a little speck of dust in the whole universe. But it's not going to be, it's not going to stay the greatest country because things change. I don't know what the greatest country is going to be, but you take shelter, and say, for instance, during the Second World War, you took shelter of your country, and then it's taken over by Germany. Your shelter is gone, but the shelter of Krishna doesn't change. He's there taking care of you always. And even if something seems bad, even if you're really taking shelter of Krishna and you're killed, you just go back to Krishna, your real shelter, directly. So Krishna is the ultimate goal of shelter, and therefore one should take shelter of Krishna either for protection or for annihilation of his distress. So in here it says I am the creation and the annihilation. But Prabhupada didn't use it like annihilating everything. I don't know why, but he says we can take shelter of Krishna for annihilation of our distress. That's really nice, because it is a fact you can get free from all your distress, every bit of your distress, just by taking shelter of Krishna. So, of course, we have to try to take shelter of Krishna. And whenever we have to take protection, we should know that our protection must be a living force. What are you going to take protection of if it's not somebody that's alive, a person, a living force? Okay, I'm going to take protection of this piece of plastic here, which is facing this way, and it should be facing this way, but somebody messed up. I know who not to take protection from. But, it's a person. It's always a person who you take protection from. Where else? Even you could go to the police department, to call the police. They're persons to give you protection. Or the military, they're persons to give you protection. It's not like you call a gun, come over here and protect me. You have to have a person using the gun. It's always a person. So, and whenever we have to take protection, we should know that our protection must be a living force. Krishna is the supreme living entity. And since Krishna is the source of our generation, or the Supreme Father, no one can be a better friend than Krishna. Nor can anyone be a better well-wisher. Protection, that's one of the, what is it called, signs of surrender, or is always feel protected by Krishna. So we should always feel protected by Krishna. Even in the Bible it says, yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. It's really nice, you're with me, I'm not afraid of anything. It's up, you're controlling it all. You can control these things. Haridas Thakur, he was living in a cave with a big, huge snake. And in the heart of the snake is also Krishna. And when people were upset and told him to leave that cave, Krishna told the snake to leave in his heart. The snake left the cave. So Krishna can control people. He can make them do things. Sometimes people don't want it, then he can kill them. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. He can smash them. He can make them paralyzed. He can do anything. I'm not wishing this on anybody. Jiva looked at me like, what are you talking about? I'm just saying, if you take shelter of Krishna, he can also, someone can kill you, but that's fine. They can only kill your body. They can't kill you. Then you're with Krishna. Like Prabhupada said, if an atom bomb was coming, what would you do? If not an atom bomb. If a bomb was coming right on top of you now, what would you do? What would you think? And he said, I think that Krishna's coming to take me home. So it's a win-win situation when you think of Krishna completely for protection. You don't try to do any. Draupadi tried to protect herself. She failed. She took shelter of Krishna, and she succeeded, and Krishna became unlimited sorry. So, and since Krishna is the source of our generation, or the Supreme Father, no one can be a better friend than Krishna, nor can anyone be a better well-wisher. Krishna is the original source of creation and the ultimate rest after annihilation. Krishna is therefore the eternal cause of all causes. Any questions? Gita Mala, no questions? Is she still there?
I'm still here, thinking.
Okay,
Everything
sure.
you send is so perfect. I have no questions.
So in the translation of the verse, it says like one phrase which just I have been meditating throughout the whole class. The basis of everything regarding Krishna. So the question I have is, one of the all struggles I have with free will. The choice we make. So whether I am, and then Krishna in the purport also somewhere said that we should see that it's Krishna doing. So that it's because of my limited understanding, I feel like it's a paradox. Whether I have a free will, if Krishna is the basis of everything and he knows everything, am I just playing a part of a puppet on a grand scheme of things where he already knows the mistakes I'm going to make, the right things I'm going to do? So,
but your choice, I mean, you could say yes, he knows what you're going to do, but you have free will, you didn't have to do it. But in your case... He knows.
No more questions.
But you do have free will. Everyone has free will. You have a choice. And whether Krishna knows it or not, I don't think he's really thinking about what you're going to choose. But, he knows everything, past, present, and future. And you can also know past, present, and future. Not of everything, but at least of yourself. And even we can at least theoretically understand that our future is bright because we're making an effort now to take shelter of Krishna. But we do have free will. What do you think Krishna made? That's what the devil made me do it. Yeah, that's what you see that people do something wrong and the devil made me do it. The devil didn't make you do it. He just said, why don't you do this? If you do this, this and that. Yeah. But you didn't have to. Say, no, I'm not doing that. I mean, sometimes the pressure is very strong. I'm just thinking like in World War II, when there were the Nazis, and they made such propaganda, against the Jews, that people didn't look at they just went with the flow. Everybody's thinking this way. Not everybody did that. Some people didn't. Some people gave protection to the Jews, and they, or Christians or whatever they may have been that they're trying to round up. Some people hid them in their houses somewhere. And if you get caught doing that, you'd get killed too. But they just, had this free will. They saw that this was wrong. People in the concentration camps working there, they treat the Jews a certain way. It's not like everybody treats, all of them treat them this way. You kind of think that's normal. But then later, if you thought about it, then you think, why would I do that? And some people, I don't know how many people think like that, but it's hard to, to think for yourself when there's a whole group, pushing a certain way, saying certain things. So it might be hard, but you do have free will. You don't have to. You could do whatever you like. Think the way you want to think. And as devotees, we know how we should be thinking. So we think that way whether people like it or not. Anyway, any questions from our faraway audience?
You were
Or
saying
comments?
you were saying that Krishna can make you do anything, like make the snake go away, right?
I don't know what she said.
You said in the class regarding Haridas Thakur pastime that Krishna can make the snake go away.
Yeah.
So sometimes you wish Krishna would make you turn towards him rather than Maya.
Sometimes you would wish that Krishna would make you turn towards him rather than towards Maya.
That's why he gives you the free will. He doesn't make you do that. It's up to you. Otherwise, where's their free will if he makes you?
But he made the snake go away.
No, he just makes the snake move from here to there. He said, listen, if you do this, I'll give you a nice little rabbit.
The feast. Food works for everyone.
It's a win-win situation.
I know, he's telling me if you come back to Goloka Vrindavan,
I don't know what she's
so
saying.
much better situation, and I'm not going, right?
If Krishna says, like, you go back to Golok Vrindavan, then it is the best situation rather than staying here.
What?
You didn't hear me?
I don't know what to use.
Can you repeat now?
Yes, Krishna is saying, if you come back to Goloka Vrindavan, I'll give you a much better situation, but we are not going, is what I said.
Right. Krishna will give you, and he is saying that. So whose fault is it that you're not going, or you're not doing what you have to do to go? I mean, we are doing something we have to do to go. We may not be doing everything every moment, but why? Because we have free will. We still are in illusion thinking, I can find happiness in this world. We're still hoping against hope that there is some happiness. Not just, anyway, it's a terrible situation. Jai. Glory to Krishna Prabhupada.
It confirmed what you said, the bell.
Yeah, we can pray to Krishna to take away our free will, so just let me do only the right thing.
Sounds easy.
Yeah. So become like a robot. How's that going to please Krishna? It's like having, I want the perfect wife, and the perfect wife is just like a robot. Whatever you want, I'll do. There was a movie. What the heck was the name of that movie?
The Stepford Wives?
Stepford Wives or something. You heard of it?
Yes. I think I might have even seen it. I don't remember.
I think that was also in Connecticut too.
Mm-hmm.
And they have all these, this husband and wife move into this nice town, quaint town in Connecticut. I think it was Farmington, I'm not sure. and and his wife, the other wives seem a little bit different, but they're, the husbands are, everything is wonderful, and the wives are just so, do anything the husbands want. And this one lady's thinking, this is weird, and then her husband starts associating with the other men, and then after a while, they apparently, I don't know what they did, make them into robots, or yes, somehow or other. Then his wife, she looks the same, but now she's like a robot, and they're all satisfied and happy with that. But you really can't be happy with just a robot. You need, anyway, at least I don't think I could be happy with a robot. But in that movie, I think the men seem to be happy. Although that woman wasn't so happy until she became a robot, that she was fine. Stepford Wives or something, I don't know, it's an old movie.
Where else in another town?
Oh, that's not, that's the following one. Yeah. Anyway, you got free will, just use it in the right way and go back home, back to Godhead.
Right.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. What?
That's how we will learn.
Right,
Otherwise you can't.
right. She was saying that's how you would learn. You do the wrong thing and you get the result.
Right.
What is it? Once for twice shy?
I don't remember. But we're learning, gradually we're learning. And he's a loving God. He's not this mean God that's, just, he's got this wrath and just wants us to suffer. He wants us back. A loving parent wants the children to behave properly. So why? Not just for them, so I can be proud my children behave properly, but because they know that they're going to be happy. They're not going to be happy. Like for devotees, you really want your children to be devotees because you really know ultimately they're not going to be happy. This illusion may last for a while, everything is wonderful, but then even if it lasts for your whole life, at the end, you got nothing. So, surrender now.
Right. Right.
Haribol, glories to Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Give great Pyari on Prabhu Ki Jai.
Thank you.
Now, Vaishnava.
Haribol.